Hi, I'm Kate and welcome to my channel, Nurture Nature. My husband and I have two children, Emily and George. We love discovering new places on day trips out. We enjoy being outdoors and want to share with you what we get up to. We are lucky enough to have a garden and over the last few years have created our allotment area where we grow fruit, vegetables and cut flowers. We like to use as much as we can from the garden in our cooking and hope to show videos of what we create. We also love completing garden projects thinking about what is best for wildlife. We are also passionate about caring for and protecting the environment and hope to share tips on recycling and how we have cut down on plastic use. We hope you enjoy our weekly videos. Please subscribe to our channel and hit that like button.
Look what happened to our butterflies. They're starting to flap, flap, flap. And I just saw that one, and this one is flapping their wings up and closed, up and closed. So did you see this one? Now this one and this one.
How many are there, Emily?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think all of them gone out.
They have. If we look, we can see the cocoons on the plastic lid.
Yeah.
All those cocoons now are empty. What have we put in there for them, Emily?
Apples.
Why have we done that?
Because so they can eat.
So we've got to keep them in here for 2 to 3 days to let them strengthen their wings, and then we can release them.
They're making a noise.
They are, it's their wings fluttering. I think we better leave them alone. We're going to give them some more. In fact, what we can do is give them some more sugar water.
So
Let's
we
do
are
that.
going to get some sugar, like this. So let's go and pour it in.
That's all right. You can use a spoon. So we've got water in here, haven't we?
Yeah.
Not too much. Yeah, that's it. Fine. Good. Right, let's give it a stir then. You can use a spoon. What have we got to make sure it does? The sugar needs to
Melt.
Oh, good try. It needs to dissolve. Hang on, don't put water in the sugar, darling. Right, keep stirring until you can't feel that grainy texture anymore. Keep going.
That's flies. We're just going to make your food. Oh, Mummy, do you like chuck it in?
No, what we're going to do is we're going to get some bits of kitchen roll, and we're going to soak the kitchen roll with the water, the sugar water, because the butterflies can get the sugar and the water out of here. They can like suck it up from there.
Then eat it.
Yeah, then they'll take the sugar in. Yeah, eat the sugar. Give them some strength.
Done.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold this up now, and you're going to just place it in there. That's it, and just lay it down, and you can turn it over again, just so it all soaks up, so the paper towel absorbs all the liquid. Perfect. Now what you need to do is squeeze it to get the liquid off. To get majority of the liquid off. That's it, squeeze it. That's it, perfect. Not too much, perfect. And then we're going to do 2 because there are 5 butterflies in there now. Now we've got to try and put it in without the butterflies coming out. So I'm going to unzip it carefully. Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
I want. But use chewy.
Shall I do one, you do the next one? So what we're going to do, you're not going to panic if they flutter. Just going to place it maybe on top of the other ones. Can you reach? Do you want to get a chair?
I'm scared if they bite me.
They won't bite you, darling. Put it on top of that paper towel that's there. Perfect. Well done. What else do you think butterflies get their food from?
Their bottoms.
You're silly. Right, come round.
Do they get it from their chest?
No. Where do they get food from? When they're flying
From their
out?
mouth.
Oh yeah, that's how they eat. But where do they go to get their food when they're outside normally? Because they don't have apples put out for them by us. They don't have people go and put sugar water out for them. So what do you think they feed off of? What do you think they eat?
Nectar.
They do. And where do they get the nectar from? What is it?
It's
You've obviously picked this at school. What flower is it?
a dandelion.
A daisy lion. Oh, that's so sweet. It's called a dandelion. A daisy is the ones with yellow middles and white petals. This has got yellow petals. This is a dandelion. I would love to discover a daisy lion though. What can we put in here that the butterflies will like?
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, should we go and get some flowers?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go to our wildflower area, which is here. We planted this up a couple of weeks ago. We did do a video a few weeks ago of us planting some seeds, and it has grown quite a lot. I don't think we've got as many flowers as we wanted, but we've got lots of grasses, we've got cosmos, we have got some wildflowers in there. Yeah, some have come up, so we're going to pick some of the wildflowers. So Emily, we're going to go for these white flowers here. Now Emily's got experience with secateurs and knives and things, so she's quite careful. So just be careful that if you're doing this, you make sure that you ask an adult or you've got an adult near you. Good girl. Yeah, go and find that bit. That's it, put it in your pocket. So there's a cosmos. And I think, Emily, just a little bit more. Why didn't you just cut one sprig of this white flower behind you? Perfect. That's it. We don't need any more.
Cosmos.
Right.
And we're going to put it in the butterfly net. And then they can get the nectar.
Fantastic.
So, from all of these flowers.
Carefully unzip the top.
So they don't escape.
Yes, they don't escape. And we don't want to scare them, do we?
No.
They might be sleeping, yeah. We've got one right at the top here. Make sure he doesn't fly out. That's it. Perfect. Try and drop them near the apple because we've just done that sugar water, haven't we? And we don't want the flowers to soak up the sugar water. We want the butterflies to have the sugar water. Emily, not on the sugar water, on the apples, or just over to this side. They're going to have loads of food, aren't they? Do you want to put your dandelion in that you picked from school? Yeah, put that in.
It's already dead.
Well, they can still use the nectar, can't they? Perfect. So Emily, do you know what these are?
Yes, they're oils.
And do you know what we use oils for? What do we use them for?
If we need oils for dinner.
Yep, so sometimes we fry some things using oil, don't we? Mm-hmm. Potatoes and chips and things.
Yeah.
And we use the oil to fry. And we have got olive oil, and we have got vegetable oil, rapeseed oil,
Yes.
and you can also get sunflower oil. And they're called that because they're made from those things. So the olive oils are made from the olives.
But
The sunflower oil.
Mummy, how do you make it?
Good question. So you make sunflower oil from the seeds of sunflowers, and rapeseed oil again from the seeds of the plant. And what they do is they sort of squish the seeds until the oils come out. And that's how you make oil. We're actually going to be talking about a different type of oil today. We're going to be talking about palm oil. Have you heard of that before? We don't normally get palm oil in a bottle like this, but palm oil is in a lot of the foods that we eat. And apparently 50% of the packaged items in a normal supermarket would have palm oil in. So the reason why we're talking about palm oil today is that sometimes to make palm oil, it destroys a lot of things. So I didn't know anything about palm oil other than it's responsible for lots of deforestation and ruining animals' homes. But other than that, I didn't know anything about palm oil. So I decided to do a bit of research. Now, the one thing I do know is that it's not good for orangutans because the process of making palm oil destroys orangutans' homes. And tomorrow, it is International Orangutan Day. And it's a day to recognise orangutans and raise awareness of how the palm oil industry is affecting them. So there are three main things that I want to know about. One, what is palm oil and why is it used? Two, how is the industry affecting the environment? And three, how can we help the environment and all those animals whose homes are being lost?
Oil is really important.
It is really important, and there are some positives of palm oil which I actually didn't know about. So palm oil is an edible vegetable oil that comes from the fruit from an oil palm tree. So the reason why palm oil is produced is that you can get the oil from the fruit of the tree and the pip, the stone, the kernel in the middle. So this is a peach. Let's imagine it's the palm fruit, the fruit from the oil palm tree. Okay, so you can actually get the oil from the main fruit, the main fleshy part, and from the stone in the middle. So you can get more oil from more of the plant. Whereas sunflower and rapeseed oil, you can only get oil from the seeds. Because when you make palm oil, it uses lots of the plant. You actually need less land to make more oil. Palm oil produces 35% of the world's vegetable oils on just 10% of the land. Another good thing about palm oil is that it produces job opportunities for the locals.
So oil is important.
And it is important because it can be used as biofuel, it can be used in foods, and it can also be used in cosmetics. So things like face cream and makeup, it can be used in that. So let's talk about the negatives, the bad parts of the industry. To make palm oil, you have to grow a certain type of crop. Okay, now that needs land. Just like outside when we grow our vegetables, you need to prepare the earth, don't you? You need to dig over the ground and you need to have bare earth ready to plant some seeds to make it grow.
Yeah,
they need to cut down the forest to make room to grow these special plants. And so all those animals' homes disappear and then the animals can't live there anymore. And that's why it's really, really bad. And do you remember last week we went to the wildlife park and we saw the orangutans, didn't we?
Orangutan had a towel.
He did?
And I think it snatched off someone's towel.
I think the people there provided the towels for them. The orangutan liked to have a blanket over him, didn't he? In the wild, Emily, the orangutans' homes would be destroyed. And sometimes the animals then die because they've got nowhere to live. So that's why it's really, really sad, and that's why palm oil can be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, and that's why if someone chops down a tree when an orangutan is in there, that's why zoos need to get orangutans and look after them.
They do, don't they? Sometimes.
Yeah.
We had some rescue orangutans at the wildlife park we went to, didn't they?
Yeah, and sometimes they have a computer which knows the orangutans are in trouble, and then they can get them and somebody's in trouble, it's like an ambulance, when we are poorly. It's like when they're poorly, they have a doctor which saves them.
And what's an animal doctor called?
A vet.
Well done. That's one of the bad things about it, Emily, is that it destroys the orangutans' homes, and sometimes then the orangutans can die. Okay, but also sometimes in some countries that the land needed to grow the palm oil or the palm is acquired illegally, and that then causes social conflict and trouble in the villages. But also sometimes in these countries where labour isn't regulated, there can be child labour, forced labour, bad human rights during these working conditions. So that's not very good either.
And also, long ago, somebody wasn't protecting the animals so good. They were like putting them in circus and doing them bad things and doing the scary things.
Yeah.
And showing people their tricks, and that's not right. And they might die in circus.
Yeah, we've been talking about circuses, haven't we? And
Yeah.
about the animals that are used in circuses. Some of the animals we found at the wildlife park had come from circuses.
Yeah.
But they'd saved them, haven't they, and protected them now,
Yeah.
looking after them. We are never going to get rid of palm oil. Palm oil is here to stay. It's not about boycotting it or finding products without it in. It's about finding palm oil that is sustainable, that is not going to destroy forests or destroy animals' homes. There are lots of things you can do to help. Try to buy products with sustainable palm oil in. You could adopt an orangutan. This helps to fund projects to monitor them and create protected areas of rainforests. You could become a WWF member, which can help save rainforests and funds other projects. You can sign petitions to stop our role in deforestation. Learn more about palm oil, and I'll put all the links to all the websites that I use to find out information about it in the description below. And just talk about it with the people around you. Now, there is a company or an organisation that was set up. It's called the RSPO, that sets good practice for producing and sourcing palm oil. And there's lots of work they do about helping communities and making sure that companies then in England are using palm oil from sustainable sources. So certified palm oil protects the environment and helps and supports those local communities that are producing it. If you want to know more, there's loads of information on the RSPO and the WWF websites, and most zoos and wildlife parks will have a section on palm oil too. So we're just in our local supermarket. We're doing our weekly shop, and we just thought we would have a look at some of the products that we buy on a weekly basis and see if they contain palm oil. So we're going to do a bit of a palm oil hunt today, aren't we? So just looking at some pasta bake. So the ingredients are, it's got rapeseed oil in, but it hasn't got palm oil in, which is good. So Emily has found the chocolate aisle. Not that we buy these every week, but it's just interesting to see. Yeah, that contains palm oil. What else, Emily? Let's have a look.
These.
So that contains vegetable oils, palm and rapeseed.
No, I mean these.
Yeah, look, vegetable oil in brackets, palm.
Can we buy that?
So I think a lot of the sweets and chocolates are going to contain quite a lot of the palm oil. I wonder if biscuits do. Oh, sustainable palm oil. Well, that's interesting. So this is where you need to be careful, because sustainable palm oil, if a company says on their packets that they use sustainable palm oil, it just means that part of their palm oil is sustainable, not necessarily all of it. So that can be quite misleading at times. So just watch out for that. On the website of the wildlife park we visited, there is a pre-written letter which you can send to the RSPO. And in that letter, it thanks them for all their great work, but it also asks them to work with companies to put the percentage of sustainable oil in their ingredients list, or some sort of certification level. And if you think this is something that you agree with, please use the link in the description box below to send the letter. All you need to do is put your name and email address and press send. So this is one of my favourite biscuits.
Yeah,
And it actually has some information on here about palm oil. It says the palm oil used in this product is certified sustainable from well-managed plantations. But I do wonder whether that is all of it or just part of the oil in this product is sustainable. I would have thought that if they'd used 100%, they would have put that on there as a bit of a selling point. So probably not 100%. So something we do want for dinner this week is fajitas. So we're going to have a look at their tortilla wraps. Now I know that to make tortillas, they do use a lot of oil in them, which makes the tortillas so flexible and so bendy. So let's have a look. So yeah, we have got palm oil in this. It doesn't say whether, oh here you go, the palm oil used in this product supports the production of sustainable palm oil. So there's more information on these things than I thought, but again I don't know how much of that oil is sustainable. If it's all of it or just some of it. Let's look at a different brand. Again, palm oil. That doesn't say it's sustainable. Sunflower oil. So this actually doesn't have any palm oil in, which is interesting. So we're in the bread aisle. Got some bread here. This says brown seed, millet seed, poppy seed, vegetable oil, rapeseed, and sustainable palm. So again, it has got that it's got sustainable palm oil, but how much of the oil in this is sustainable, I wonder. So I just thought, since crisps are quite fatty, that we might just have a look at a few crisp packets. These are one of our favourites. Okay, so it says sunflower and rapeseed oil in varying proportions, so no palm oil. Sometimes the children have good old pom bears. Ingredients, no, just sunflower oil. Rapeseed and sunflower oil. Vegetable, sunflower and corn oil. So mini cheddars. Mini cheddars do contain palm oil. Who knew? I had no idea. Let's come to do some more recycling, and look, for once they're not full. We can put them in without having to stuff them in. There we go, put it in. Well done. I love that at Sainsbury's it gives you a detailed list of what can and cannot be recycled along with the plastic bags. Next Wednesday will be a video more for the adults as we flavour some gin using fruit from our garden.